Yeah, welcome in Maestro, and welcome in Nomis, and welcome in Riza. Nice to see all of you cuties, and welcome in Starq as well, I guess.
Place an
I
electricity
hope,
box.
please, no, not right. I despise you, Maestro. I was gonna say some nice things about Maestro, but that have just taken care of itself. Yes, you have not seen this in a while. I think I'm nearly finished. Not. Hold on. First things first, we're gonna place the electricity box so I don't forget about it. And I do think here would not be a horrible idea. But yes, I'm gonna show you guys around in a bit. I do think I actually managed to finish the layout of this like 90% maybe. I'm sure there is still some small issues. I found a few gaps I've left, but in general, we're done with placing the houses and can actually detail. This was the last area we had the last time, and this staircase is obviously not correct yet. But I do think I generally just Los Vagos things, I guess. What is going on here? Somebody getting abducted, I guess. I mean, we don't talk about this. This is just normal Los Vagos behavior, I guess. But yes, I did finish out this area. As always, the areas around these staircases are by far the most difficult. We started building out this area here the last time. It's not perfect, but I'm quite happy with how this worked out. We have this staircase up here, and then we have a bit of a middle walkway, and we even have this tunnel here to the smallest. This is by far the smallest yard we have up here. So not sure how much we can detail here, but as you guys can see, I've put an enormous amount of work into actually getting these staircases to look good with some platforms in the middle and everything. We should go ahead and just fix this one real quick, because this is annoying me. But yeah, we do get some last maybe like this, and then I guess we will need another divider. Okay, there we go. But yes, then we get this very small glass court here. I'm not 100% sold yet on this side. I think the transition works alright. I think it's the weakest transition on the entire favela. I think all of the other transitions are a bit cleaner than what it was, and also welcome in Rookie and welcome in Nomis. Nice to see all you cuties here. But yes, I do think we're making solid progress. Again, this side I'm not fully sold on yet. I do think this is quite nice to have this a bit more spread and areas where we're touching on. Maybe some of you have a good idea for what I try to do here. I think this is a pretty pathetic approach of it, but I'm trying to get some houses under construction in there, which not saying I've not done well so far, but I absolutely don't think I've done proper at that so far. So if anybody has a good idea of what we could make some unfinished favelas of, please don't hold back and let me know about it, because I don't yet have a good idea on what to do. Just want to line this up. The question is, do we let this show or do we hide this a bit further? I actually think this looks nicer if we entirely show this. And it looks like here we need to do a very little terraforming, and welcome in Poplar, and welcome in Gray. Again, slowly taking shape. I think this is the area we started diving into a bit more the last time. I actually went ahead and decorated this rooftop over here. So I think they are great. So, thank you for that. What's Streak, Rizzo? Or what's Streak? Appreciate it. Not bad, not bad. Yes, and then the next point we're getting into is up here, which this is the least finished part, but Gaga has right away decided he wants to be okay. Let's. I think Gaga is not here yet, which
Place
is
an
rare.
electricity box.
I despise you, Cuboid. Also, welcome in. Sorry, I'm moving the camera a lot. But yeah, the fern of Gaga actually has a little issue. I think it's especially problematic on shitty computers where you have your settings not as high. I know that for Gaga with maxed out settings in 2K, they look fabulous, and I shouldn't point out Gaga's issues, but while talking about the ferns, I am gonna wait before I properly use them, because Gaga definitely has to find a solution for what I'm gonna show you now. I think it's probably kind of visible already. Look at this. Ferns up close. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Stunning models. These look amazing. Really excited. They are pretty performant as well from what's gone in there. Now comes the issue, and this again is just an issue if you're not maxing out your settings and if you're playing in 1K, but in my computer the issue is very noticeable. They basically nearly go completely invisible, and then the imposter pops in, which the imposters look horrible, but so do they for all of the vanilla plans, so that's not something Gaga can really adjust, but yes, this is not perfect yet. So again, I'm Gaga is aware of this, and he's gonna fix this. So soon we should have absolutely stunning ferns. For now, I think they still have a bit too much issues. And yes, indeed, Cities News. I'm holding back on that a bit because, to be honest, I'm not sure if we're already allowed to talk about it or not. I guess we are allowed to talk about it now the live stream have been out, but I don't want to mess up, so please, god damn it, what is going on today? The amount of UFOs we have here is right there. Okay, then I can talk about what was in the stream. I love it. It's the most exciting and most anticipated patch of mine in basically forever. Okay, thank you guys for clarifying. I just didn't wanna mess up, but yes, looks absolutely stunning. The new textures, 10 out of 10. For everybody that's not seen, Paradox has been streaming today and showing off a few of the things we're gonna get in the next patch, and it's beautiful, like absolutely stunningly beautiful. I have to admit, I'm probably in a bit of a weird situation compared to most other people, because this is not a desert map, right? This is a Steam that we're using texture replacer for getting it in here. I am not entirely sure how this will behave for us. I'm sure modders will find good solution for us, but obviously I would wish to not just have the standard grass extra textures, but some that actually match for what we're doing. And currently I don't know how that will behave. So as with everything, looks amazing. I'm really excited, but I'm not the biggest hype man in things like that. I'm just gonna be patient and wait and see, and then I'm sure it's gonna be amazing, but I'm just gonna wait till I see how amazing it is, and not get overly excited beforehand. Yeah, I also assume map texture replacer is gonna continue, though I'm not sure how involved the maker, I think he's called CG World or something, of map texture replacer still is currently. I don't think he does super much, but then I also don't think he has to do super much. Basically, just include the new extra textures that we can load in, and then yes, then we should be fine. But exactly like Poplar is saying, I believe all he would have to do is add those new channels, and then if we can do that, it's gonna make Los Vagos a lot prettier. Because my main gripe with the current graphics is the following. Careful, it's gonna get a bit more bright, but as you guys can see, if we look at Los Vagos in this angle, I think it just looks incredibly flat. I don't know how to word it any better. This is really hilly, right? This is a canyon. We're working with terrain everywhere in this build. It's not visible unless we give this some shadows. Now I think you can really see how much hills and terrain, and now it also makes a lot more sense why my roads are as chaotic as they are. So I don't know. I wholeheartedly have never liked this, and it seems like with newer textures, we will be able to actually have some proper depth in our build without having to only
Bola
play
time.
in the morning hours.
Place
So,
an electricity
God,
box.
no, not again. I said this before, and I mean it. You guys will force me to do something,
I wish
and
we had
and
a
it's
cactus.
absolutely fine. We can do that, and I will do this in future. I will just make an electricity box factory and a bollard
I
factory,
wish we had a
and then every
cactus.
time you guys try to bully me, I will quite literally just put those down in our factories. You can't outbully
I
the
stream,
biggest
you
bully
stream,
in
and
the
plop
group.
plop, baby.
So be careful what you're trying to do here. And welcome in, Jelly. I would say appreciate it, but after you came in and immediately started bullying, I'm not gonna say welcome in. I hope you have a horrible day. Okay, bollards were also in there, so I guess bollards, and then we go back to our favela. But yes, really exciting news, especially for everybody with just normal grass builds, because they won't really have to do anything. And goddamn, are your builds gonna look better without having to put anything into it? So yeah, super nice change. But as with everything, I'm always a bit cautious before I have played it, because I do think it's very easy to make an impressive trailer and show off very nice changes. It's always a bit different if you then get your hands on it and get to play. So very excited, but also carefully holding back on my excitement for now. But yes, for sure, I agree with everybody that this is probably the most exciting CS2 patch we've had yet and will get. I'm not sure if there is anything that could compete. For me personally, definitely no. Maybe somebody else has something that I enjoy more. Finally, I found something where we can bollard. This looks like a perfect. Why are they so close to each other? Please don't. I guess we're using this instead.
Bye, have a great time.
and welcome in Polly. But yeah, if you guys would have to have one patch that could compete with what we're getting, what would be your favorite CS2 patch so far? I'm not sure about it. Is this Jamama stealing Gray's account, or are we dealing with actual Gray? But yes, after all of that bullying, back to where we were. We're gonna try to detail out this market up here. I guess, yeah, release of modding. To be honest, I did not play the game yet. When modding came out, I was not a CS2 player, so I would have not even thought about that as an update. But yes, I guess probably that's a lot more exciting than what we got now. But again, since I did not play back then, that's not something I would have thought of. What is the official assets? Oh, the editor patch, you mean, Poplar? When you say official assets, I guess I would assume so. But yes, I love it. Again, I said this in the past. I do think Colossal Order has put a very solid foundation in this game to evolve on. My main gripe with Colossal Order was always that they're a bit ignorant to the fact that people are already playing the game and that there are some bugs that need to be addressed like yesterday and not after you're done with future updates, because yeah, people are suffering from those bugs already. And Ice Flake seems to be very different in that regard, because I agree the amount of performance fixes and really small updates, but regular updates where they go back and actually bug fix stuff is amazing. Absolutely loving it. Star, if you're still here, StarQ, because you always know why things in this game do what they're doing, because you have more than a brain cell, unlike me. I have a question for you, if you're still here. Because there is one very big gripe while I'm working on this favela that used to be different in the past. No. I honestly, every single of my moderators on this channel is a horrible person and a cyberbully. Does this include my own girlfriend? Absolutely. She is no different than you guys and also a terrible bully.
Place an electricity box.
I will. I will, but I will finish this market stand here. And I wish we had some more different. I feel like I place all of these like a quadrillion times already. I wish we had a few more of these commercial
That's cute.
stands. But sadly, it does seem like. Oh, Stark, you said he's here. I was gonna say, sadly, it seems like he's not here anymore. I will remember your electricity box, Graham. Don't you worry about it. But so I don't forget my question to Star, I want to ask my main gripe with citizens, these, is the following. You see this, I can turn this perfectly fine. I go on top of something, I cannot turn it anymore. I go back to ground level, I can rotate and turn it. Why is this a thing? And is this something that potentially could be changed? Because wholeheartedly tilting as hell, if we're gonna go detail out with ploppable citizens up here, What we're gonna have to do is place a citizen, go down, rotate it, go back up, place it, go back down, rotate, go back up. I know you guys will say this is not the biggest issue, but this is actually a gigantic issue. And thank you, cuties, for all of the support and the watch streaks and everything. It didn't used to be a thing, Star. This used to be fine till Bridges and Ports, I believe. And then when Bridges and Ports came out, this suddenly changed. Why this changed, I don't know. I have one IQ. I'm not gonna be able to tell what the difference is. I can just tell you as a user of these citizens, it infuriates me to a very high degree. It's the only thing where this happens. Any prop is fine, everything is fine. The only part where this happens is the citizens. So yeah, if you can check on it, that is nice. And enjoy your tuna salad, Sunny. Yes, you should always yell. It is it is your duty as an angry gamer to, whenever you're unhappy with anything in the video game, immediately become unhinged and rude about it. Go on Reddit, make lots of angry posts. Never stay calm, never be accepting of the fact that developers are also just people and can make mistakes. That's not something we want to see here. We want to see anger and rage and okay. Obviously, don't do that. Be a nice person. They're trying their best. And especially since Ice Flakes is over, I think they're also doing a pretty solid job. So please don't scream at people, just saying. And thank you, Maestro. That is very cute and kind of you. I actually, Maestro, now you redeem this. I I have forgotten that I still owe you screenshots. I absolutely do still own Maestro screenshots. And I promised him I'll do send him some screenshot a while ago, but then completely forgot about it.
Place an electricity
Oh,
box.
yes, Gray also still gets electricity boxes, so I'm not surprised about what's happening. Do I love it? Questionable. Will I accept it? Of course I will.
Place an electricity box.
Uh, I'm not saying maybe I have to change something about the prices and the daily limits of these redeems, but I might. I might have to. And also Gray, very appreciated. That's very cute and nice of you. And that is a hype train. That's not very common on my channel, but again, very nice of you guys. And also thanks to you, Rookie. Yes, of
Bye.
course,
Have a great
Sunny.
day.
Go take care of your missus. And we are not as important as your missus is, but thanks for tuning in and have a nice evening with your miss. And also, Polly, appreciated. Very nice of you. Oh, guys, I don't think I showed you this yet. This is not really something special, but I think this turned out super cute. Well, cute is maybe not the right word for this, but I think it turned out very vibey at least. I think I managed to hit the vibe of some like overflooded. I don't know how to call these in English, to be honest. In Germany, or in German, I know the word right away. But basically, as you guys can see, if it rains, this all turns into a bit of a small creek, and then the water will collect down here. I'm tempted to call this a basin, but it's not really a basin because it's natural, and I guess a basin is fully built, so I'm not sure, but I'm sure my clever chat can educate me. Is pond what you would call this? If it's not, because it's not really, in my mind, it's not really a permanent pond, but it's just for when it's really flooded. Ocean. Thank you, Maestro. Clearly, that's what I was looking for. Ocean is the word that I meant. Maestro coming in clutch as always, and you guys are too cute for it. The German word for this, what I mean, is Überlaufbecken. Because in Germany, we have quite a few of these, especially in northern Germany. Yeah, poop puddle. Honestly, that's probably the best description for what I built there. That is exactly what I was looking for. But yes, maybe after I told Rookie the proper name, I can figure it. Oh, and I forgot it. Also, thank you, Poplar. Very, very kind. Did I place one or two? I placed one electric. Okay, I did place two. I thought for a moment I'm scamming you, but I'm not scamming you, so I'm fine. I guess overflow pond. The reason I don't want to call it pond is that in my head at least, the pond is always there. But then I more mean something that only is filled with water when it's heavily raining or like a very wet season or something. But then in dry summer, it would actually run dry. I guess so. I'm just gonna keep calling it Überlaufbecken. And if you were English, then tough luck for you. You will not be able to follow me. I guess so. As with everything, German language is very specific and overly defining every single thing. So I'm looking for English words that do the same, but then English is a very, I'm not gonna say silly language in comparison, but at least a language with a lot less history. So I guess there is a lot less words, at least for German. There is so many words where you don't have an English equivalent for it. But yes, is perfectly right to point out that lakes and ponds can dry up as well. And welcome in Triton. Nice to see you here. Now, after the stream today, since we're allowed to talk about the texture changes, the one person who I am the most interested in their opinion is Triton. Because as everybody in here should know, Triton is the amazing person that given us extra assets importer and extra detailing tools and extra transform tools. I'm sure Triton is gonna be maybe cooking up some things with what we've seen. Is that a correct assessment of the situation? But yes, welcome in. Nice to see you. See, my big issue with all of these props here is I really want somebody to sell fake watches. Oh yeah, Triton. I'm with StarQ being here. I just complained to StarQ about something. Maybe you understand what's happening here. Look at this. You see, I rotate my citizen when it's on the ground. As soon as I go on top of something, I guess it's not snapping to the car, but here I cannot rotate anymore. If I go down to the floor, rotate, perfect, fine. If I go on top of something, rotating, not possible. generally not the biggest issue. In something like my favela, god damn is this annoying, because I will always, if we place a citizen here, and I want to place a second one, then I have to go back down to the ground to rotate him a little. And then we can go back up and actually place him. And now, if I want a person that's standing next to him, but a bit turned, I cannot do that. So I do this. This does only happen, and thank you guys so much for the hype train, very appreciated. But this does happen only with citizens. No other object has this same problem. I can show you in a second with props. But see, if we take any prop, I don't know, this, I can rotate down here. I go up here and I can still rotate in. With anything, there is no other thing that allows this. And yes, I'm on the public EDT. I'm on the beta of EIA, but the public version of EDT. And this used to be different. I don't know what they changed, but I think, again, I might recall the wrong patch. But I think this changed with bridges and ports. Prior to bridges and ports, you could rotate them perfectly fine. And then once we got on bridges and ports, this broke, and you can now only rotate them on the floor. And again, especially for this favela build, it's painful. Otherwise, I have totally accepted that that's the way it goes. But yeah, for the favela, this is quite painful. Hmm. So I guess that's not something we can fix from mod side, but would have to be a fix from Iceflake side. Just so I understand correctly. Because I'm sure if we would report this properly, then they would be able to do something about it. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up about this while the ad break is running, so you guys can hear and don't miss everything. This is probably my most used commercial props poplar. For some reason, they don't show in the vanilla UI. I guess that's why you probably don't use those. If you go in the vanilla UI and you look in the commercial props, they will not show here. Why? Don't ask me. I hate this. There is quite a few assets that have this inconsistency between either showing in vanilla and not showing outside, or showing in Find It, or showing in vanilla and not in Find It. I don't know why that's a thing, but yes, for these you will have to look in Find It to find them, which is crazy to me, because honestly, I use these everywhere. I wish we had more of these. They are absolutely amazing, especially for anything commercial or market related. Like even if it's not a market, but a normal. Sorry, our city has gotten quite large, so we need to travel a bit. But if we go into some of the detail parts here, you see that even in front of supermarkets or something, I think these are 10 out of 10, right? Because, yeah, obviously, at least in Germany, most supermarkets have some outside like decorations and displays, and these do that perfectly, right? And yeah, these are vanilla, like nothing you have to add or anything. There is one of the things we're using is on PDX mods. And the thing that is on PDX mods, and I highly recommend and added to the asset catalog in my Discord already, are these market stalls. They are made by Blue Props, which initially I was a bit unsure about Blue Props because he seemed to not use control mask and such. And I figured he just rips his stuff from other games, but the gentleman has joined my Discord and seems to be an absolutely lovely person and went back and fixed quite a few of them already, and his newer stuff is getting better and better. So it's one of the creators where I would say absolutely have an eye on him. Does amazing stuff. I'm sure you've seen some of the others. He uploaded quite a bit of props lately. And the market style is one of his as well. I just think it adds so much life to places like these. If you actually go in and decorate these out. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that if you look in my Discord in the asset catalog, that they are in there. So you will be able to find them through there, or I think they are also just called market props. So even if you just go on PDX and search for market props, I think they should show. And I'm not sure which, because I've been yapping so much again. What what did you mean with not necessarily to what Triton said with them having to need that component and this being a game problem? Because wholeheartedly, I will play so many Sims in this favela in the next few weeks that if this is something that is fixable, I would be very excited for that, especially currently. Because yeah, now comes the painful part. Now we want to put Sims down here to make this lively. And the pain begins, because we will have to always go down here to rotate them. And then we go up, and we place, and then we go down, and we rotate, and then we go up, and we place. You guys can understand why I'm saying this is not amazing. If it is a game problem and nothing we can fix, then so be it. Then I guess that's just something I have to live with. But just in case this is something that we could change, I would appreciate it. I mean, if that's something you could just add to the citizens without breaking them, then I guess that would be perfectly fine. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because I guess humans are not supposed to be a placeable. But that should be really easy to check, I guess. Just load in the editor, take a citizen, and see if you can add it. And if you can, then maybe that's the entire fix we need here. And I know this is probably boring for everybody outside of Triton and me, but there is a CS2 major happening right now. And no, I'm not talking about Cities Skylines, I'm talking about Counter-Strike. And tomorrow is a very exciting match of Triton's favorite or Triton's favorite team facing the second best team in the world. So I'm curious if Triton is gonna watch and is excited about that. I would guess so. But yeah, people said earlier, where is the problem with not being able to rotate the Sims on top of something? I think it gets very obvious where the problem with this is if you're watching what we're doing here. Because, yeah, there is no way in doing this quicker than this annoying going up and down thing we're doing right here. Yeah, Navi is second. Is it? I think it's Navi Vitality tomorrow, or did I check wrong on HLTV? I think that's exactly the game we're getting tomorrow. Or maybe you also already did fix this in the beta version. To be honest, you recall Triton that I had issues with right everywhere when I installed the beta version. So I didn't have time to look into that again, so I just reverted to the public EDT. But maybe you have already fixed this and I just don't have it in my version yet. Yes, that is a known issue. Sully should really delete those. They are broken and that is not fixable. You mean these two, right? With those also broke. They worked in the past perfectly fine, no problem with them. And then something changed that now exactly what you were saying, Gray. They relocate. I use them extensively in this neighborhood, in all of these pools. I use them. And it's exactly what you're saying. The next time you reload your game, they will be anywhere else in your map. They randomly relocate. So to this day, sometimes I find Sims flying in the middle of the air, somewhere here or back there. And I'm sure there is other Sims who are swimming under my map and such. But that is definitely a problem. Yeah, this has been an issue a long time ago, like at least since Bridges and Ports, if not longer. But again, that issue did not persist all the time. But yes, great noise. That's not a you problem. That's a game problem. I wish that Sully would just delete those, because the pain some people will feel if they decorate an entire full public pool with swimming people and then they reload their game and they're everywhere in their map is not going to be a very fun time. So I do think they should really be removed. But then I do think Sully is generally fairly busy lately. So I'm not sure if he's going to get to that. What do you mean with they fix the issue? Yeah, no, it's not even just in a real. They glitch everywhere. Even if you place it in the middle of the air and then you close your game and you reload your save, they will relocate. And again, that's most likely not something Sully can fix, so wouldn't wait on fixing, but just use them exactly like you said, because yes, that's perfectly fine. Use them, place them, take a screenshot, and then remove them again, and you're fine. Okay, and since we have animated sims, I would like to go ahead and at least get a little movement in here as well. And I mean, it's a market, but it's a favela market. So why not have a few people have a nice dance session up here? I will check that right now. Nope, still can't turn them. So that's not a fix. I can if no snapping is enabled, I absolutely can turn them, right? It's just that obviously then they don't snap to where I want. So sure, what I could do is manually move all of them in the level that I need to and then rotate them. But the problem is the terrain is not flat below this. So that's not really an acceptable option for what we're doing here. Otherwise, I've done that in the past where I just move my elevation to the level of where it is, and then you can rotate and place. Yes, but again, that did not used to be the case. Like that changed. I'm gonna say roughly half a year ago. My feeling of time is very bad, so don't nail me down on that half a year. But roughly in that time, it must have broken. And prior, it's never been an issue. All right, there we go. I do think this looks kinda appropriate already. Obviously, this is way too empty, and all of these stalls are still empty. So the people plopping will continue, especially since afterwards we then have this lower level, but at least in the lower level we can just place them like normal people without having to do this rotation nonsense. And here we're gonna be a bit lazy because some of these we can just keep the rotation if we move them a bit further away. Oh, we're still placing the dancing ones. Well, I mean, he has good mood. He's dancing, but I guess we should revert to non-dancing ones. For me, the irritating thing on this is that, again, the only reason or the only issue is the Sims. This doesn't happen with anything else, but I guess Starkview is correct that, or both of you are correct, that it's cause everything else has a placeable object component, but the citizens don't. And we're gonna trick a bit. We're just gonna keep some of the same rotations and move them a bit further away from each other so we at least don't have to rotate every single time. That is curious because decals, I'm fairly sure, before I say something wrong, let's try. I'm fairly sure I can rotate decals perfectly fine. Let's take this. Yeah, look at this. You see this? So if you manage to make this work without the placeable object component in decals, I would guess if you give the citizens the same treatment with EDT, that should also fix it. If I'm correct with that, again, probably not, because I'm mostly wrong with things I say, but I would hope so. Again, for most builds, it's not such a big issue, because how often do you place this amount of elevated citizens? Not very often, but yeah, for this build, it is very painful. I should have asked you guys about this in the past, because yeah, both you and StarQ obviously are exactly the right people to ask about issues like this. But yes, not gonna lie, especially with the recent patches and as well, it feels like PDX mods. Yes, there is a lot of not great stuff getting uploaded as well. But I do think the quality and the amount of uploaded stuff on PDX has also gotten a lot better. I absolutely love this game. I know I also promised to release some assets since quite a while, but the game is so fun right now that I wholeheartedly don't want to deal with assets for a moment and just play the game and enjoy myself. And then when I'm tired of playing the game, I'm gonna go back to making some asset stuff. Still looks so empty. Like the vibe I want in this is actually be full and crowded. And even though we place this many people, I do think it still looks empty. Yeah, has anybody actually tried that? Surely that's not vibe coded and your computer will immediately burn up in flames when you install it. I mean, at least he only uploaded it like a quadrillion times, so we got that going for us, I guess. I already made this shitty dad joke yesterday in my Discord, but I couldn't control myself and hold back, so I immediately said it's multiple multiplayer mods, which honestly fair. If anything should get uploaded multiple times, then it's a multiplayer mod.
Place an electricity box.
I will go ahead and place an electricity box because I was just gonna yeah, I mean, to be honest, after making that joke, I deserve all kind of punishment. I will not even argue about it. I want to show you guys something real quick. Then I will place the electricity box. I forgot to show you guys this cause Riza made some new rocks. And most of the rocks so far that Riza made, they look solid. They are not the perfect fit for us in Los Vagos, but goddamn, these new rocks that Riza added is like they're made for Los Vagos. Absolutely stunning and beautiful. And I went ahead and built a very small, shitty, I guess, viewpoint here. And then we have this nice arch where people can walk up to. Obviously, not really detailed out yet. I basically just wanted to work on the favela, but then I hate if a build is not properly framed. So I kinda went a bit overhead. I just wanted to do some quick framing here on this side. And it kinda turned into at least the start of a proper build. Still need some detailing and some love, but I think the foundation of this good enough. Goes in the right direction at least. Why, are you not happy with how I presented your rocks? I think your rock is cute. I have more of them here. I play some of them, not that many yet, but especially here, they help me a lot to get this nice transition to this level in. So wholeheartedly, I love them. I mean, we're also using these result rocks here, which I do think these work pretty. The heck? This should not be happening. Why? Hold on, we don't like what's happening there, so we're gonna go ahead and try to fix this at least. Why is this happening? It's still happening. I have no clue why this is happening. I'm gonna fix this off stream because it's gonna be boring for you guys. But I am not okay with that. I hate stuff that is flickering. And this is not flickering because we're mouse overing. It's literally flickering even if we're far away. And indeed, Tropico. I think especially for the build we're on at the moment, Tropico is very much the fitting music. Though I guess Riza will complain and say we should listen to reggaeton or something more powerful in a favela like this. But I'm gonna have to admit, and I think my miss is still not able to watch, so I can say this without getting in trouble. I really enjoy old Latin music. I absolutely despise modern Latin music, which is not something that I should say having a Colombian girlfriend. But she cannot hear right now, so I feel brave enough to say this. Worst case, I will sleep on the couch. I mean, Riza, how many people in Brazil listen to death metal? Probably enough because it's a big country and people listen to all kind of music. But I wouldn't expect death metal to hear again. Welcome in, Gaga. Nice to see you, cutie. I already publicly shamed your ferns earlier, so you will have to fix them. Which otherwise, your ferns look beautiful, but yes, the fading issue is problematic. I don't have that shitty
Bye, have a great
settings.
time.
I was thinking this, and thanks for tuning in and have a nice evening, Storm. My settings are not that bad. Yes, I don't have everything on 100%, but before you shame me here, level of detail is on 80, I believe. Or even is the here? Yeah, 80. So this is above default. So definitely not something you can blame on my settings, because I believe the default setting is 70. I think it's a resolution problem. You forget that you're playing on 2K and I play on 1K, because yes, this is on higher level of detail than your average player who just installed the game. And I can show it to you again so you can judge this live. This is what happens, right? Like they are beautiful, absolutely beautiful, close off. Love the model, love the textures. Absolutely 10 out of 10. But Sarkuf alone for that horrible joke is not it's not just that you're welcome to leave, you have to leave now. That deserves running. I mean, yes, this is Gaga's fault. Yes, but you see this, right? I mean, the imposter shows kinda early. The problem is before the imposter. This is the problematic part. If you send me your imported files, Gaga, I can send you some screenshots on. I don't want to play around with my graphic settings on stream because I don't want to have to crash. But if you send me your imported data, I will try around with different LOD bias settings in different level of detail settings and let you know what works a bit better, if that helps. But I think that's boring on stream for most people, so would rather do that off stream. And Gaga, while you're here, I actually have to not only bully you for your fern, but you guys, can you believe when I started building this favela, Gaga immediately said he feels like he's a man from the street. He grown up in the street. He's a real French gangster. And he said he wants to live in the favela. And I immediately was like, okay, sure, you can live in the favela. Then Gaga went ahead and bought this house up here. He keeps telling everybody he lives in the favela. He's a man of the street. He's not arrogant or crazy or has lost it. I don't think this qualifies as living in the favela, Gaga. And I also don't think if you call yourself a man of the street, I don't think this is what you would be doing. Does this seem like you wanna be one of these people? I don't think so. I do think this is a bit problematic and cocky, but who am I to judge? Yes, I know you have the tower too. That's why you have this nice pass here, where straight from your non-detailed yet place up there. Of course, I'm totally aware that that's something you will ask for. I already given you a really good car collection, I think. You have a Maybach, you have this beautiful looking muscle car, we have this Lincoln town car, and then obviously we have a very blacked out big SUV because we're in the US and I guess you're legally required to have one of those. But yes, ignore this. None of this is detailed yet. I was just trying to give a rough idea for the area. I think this is very cute as the man who made all of the cactuses. I'm giving you a cactus statue fountain with the statue and the fountain from Riza. And then obviously you have your own cactus everywhere. Hold on, Gaga. I'm not gonna get shamed here. You even have two pools. You have this pool. If you feel a bit lazy and after waking up, you don't really feel like dressing up to walk all the way over there. So you have this backyard pool with direct access. You literally just open your door and you're inside of the pool because you're a lazy person. So I made sure to build a house that's appropriate for you. As you're a lazy person, I figured this is as far as you will make it on some days. And then, yes, you also have a proper bigger pool with a pool house back here. If you need to pee, obviously you will go up here and pee on all of the poor people in the favela who you pretend to be part of, but absolutely aren't. And there is gonna be no ducks unless you model a duck for me, Gaga. No ducks for you. In fact, lately we don't have any animals in our build because all of my animals corrupted and I had to delete all of them. So something I will have to look into in future to actually get animals back into the build. Reza, don't lie to people. He is originally from Brazil, but then he loves Brazil so much that as soon as he could, he flew the country and is now living somewhere else. Because clearly, that's when you really love your country, the first thing you do is go somewhere else. Is that not correct, Reza? What are you saying to this assessment? Because nowadays, Reza is living in Portugal. And I mean, I'm not gonna blame anybody to run from Bolsonaro, so very much understandable. You're one of the people who is gentrifying Portugal, so people there cannot afford their rents anymore. I'm sure that's appreciated. And maybe we should dive into another area so you guys can see something beside placing Sims for today. What is Camoes? I probably pronounced that as bad as somebody could have, but I don't know what that means. But enjoy your day off, Rizam. And if somebody has a good idea, I started with this a little bit, but I definitely want this to be more chaotic and have a lot more weird stuff on the roofs. I think the antennas are a great thing for this and should be placed everywhere. Is there any other good ideas we have for stuff on the roof? One of the other things I'm definitely gonna place is a few of those water tanks, because I guess that's fairly common. I looked at images. What I've seen a lot as well are basically water tanks, but people with just barrels, kinda on top of the roof. Not sure how well that translates in City Skylines, but when I looked at images of favelas, I actually seen this quite a bit. And I am looking for other things that we can place on the rooftops, not actual usage of anything, but just to get some detail in. Yep, see the antennas I see? Yes, of course. Yep, see, Frieza, look, I have already, I absolutely have already started that, especially in places like these where there's like sport courts or something. We're gonna keep doing this around all of these. I want all of these roofs to be full with people looking down here at the people playing. And then obviously the same goes for up here and pretty much all around these spots. Yes, totally. But I mean non-people related stuff, like something like antennas, water tanks. Which stairs? We have so many stairs in this. I can show you all of the stairs if you want. I think they're pretty much done by now, the staircases at least. Yes, all of them probably need a little clean up, but I can show you through all of our small staircases. We have this one here, which is the last one we finished, but you can go up here, which is a dangerous one. I don't recall. And you can go through here and have this very enormous, gigantic inner yard. Or you can go up here and then you have this small little plaza up here. I think the hole is still there, actually. You mean I think it's this one that had the hole. You mean this staircase where we go up here and then up here and then up here and then I don't know who built this staircase, but whoever built this staircase is probably trying to kill people. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. So you do make a good point. Damn it, I cannot pick this here because it's decals, but we can pick this here. Let's fix this up real quick because I do wish people a lot of bad things, but I don't want anybody to fall down in my favela. If it's a different favela where I'm innocent, then sure, please fall. But I don't want any flag for this as a major. Thank you for pointing this out, Dada Knaza. I actually kind of forgot about this. I will not check Discord while I'm streaming Honu. I will totally check that out afterwards and gladly try it, but my computer is shit. My game loads are so long. I don't wanna lag out and have to reload the game. So never checking. I'm never checking Discord while I'm streaming. No, I'm not on a laptop. But I'm running 600 mods, and especially with OBS and everything up in the background, my game loads are like 30 minutes. So I'm not gonna close and open my game on stream ever. And the Discord thing is also just because I don't know, I'm streaming to at least try to entertain people and give them a good time, and I don't think it's the best time to watch somebody who's like AFK for a bit checking their Discord messages. So that is just as big as a reason as my not great computer. But yeah, I generally completely ignore Discord while I'm streaming. And I don't plan on changing that either. I don't know, my game runs okay, not great, but okay. And in all truth, also the majority of my mods is asset mods. These are an asset that Jay made for me a long time ago. And then some of them are self-built. These I have built myself a long time ago. Depends on what kind of stairs. But basically, if you would want to rebuild this yourself without having this pre-built, this is literally just a bench. I believe it's this, the campground bench. And then it's literally just stacked on top of each other. And yes, Riza, you're perfectly fine on pointing out. Sorry, I got sidetracked here, but you're right that clotheslines at street level, I already started with that a little. I placed some of the clotheslines already. It's a bit tedious because this mesh has only one side. So if you hang it over a street or something, you need to place it from both sides, which is slightly infuriating. But yeah, it's something I will definitely go into properly as well. And is this, while I have you here, Riza, is this realistic? Where are they? Are they not in here? I'm just gonna search for them and find it. These water tanks, the bigger wooden ones, would you find something like this? Or is this unrealistic? Obviously, not everywhere, but in some places. What blue ones? Oh, so like I said, what I've seen in the picture, like this, I guess. The issue is that I don't have any way in properly connecting them up or putting cables. So I think this is the best compromise I have. For me, it's just that I would like to break this up a little more, right? Like even these water tanks, yes, I know they're probably not correct, but I think especially if you look at it from a bit of distance, then these really break stuff up, right? And that's exactly what I'm after. That's exactly why I want to place a lot more, because this side, for example, I've not put anything on the roofs yet beside this single antenna here, and I think it looks too plain. It's a lot too clean. And yes, I will place people later everywhere as well, but I do want some small just props to make the roofs a bit more interesting as well. But yes, I guess you're right. The ones I've seen in the picture as well have been a lot bigger than these, but I don't think we have anything appropriate for that. Actually, these I started using everywhere as well. I absolutely love these word boxes. It's not like they really fit, but I think they just look pretty nice and add a bit of extra layer of detail. Obviously, should make sense in the position as well, but yeah, I very much like those. I guess I should have a look again, because whenever I looked at favelas at the start, I was basically just trying to get an idea of the general vibe and again, UFO overhead. But yeah, I was trying to get a general idea of the style and vibe of favelas, but I've not paid that much attention to actual smaller details. And I guess that is something that's biting me in the booty a little by now. And I love the way this looks already, but I'm getting a bit anxious knowing how much level of detail I will have to try to put in here later on. All right, Rizal, thanks for tuning in and thanks for your Brazilian expertise for my favela and have a nice evening. And Hon, what is your plans after you're done with hover color completely? Have you already decided on a next project that can take over afterwards? Or are you gonna go back to other mods where you still have open stuff to do? I don't think Gaga is leaving. I think Riza is leaving. But you're always welcome to say goodbye to Gaga anyways. When Gaga, you ask about this, maybe you have a good idea for me as well. I very much like your idea of trying to put some unfinished, still build up houses in here. I don't
Place an
really have
electricity
great
box.
material for it. this has been my first effort at it, but I have no fitting meshes to any of these that I could use.
Place an
So I don't
electricity
know. Oh
box.
God, no! Please, not again. So far, so far today has not been as horrible with the electricity boxes, but is gonna get worse and worse.
Place an electricity box.
I mean, you should make sure you sleep more, but also I very much like the sound of that Triton because any EDT upgrade is gonna be amazing. And let me catch up on chat real quick before I miss what Honu has said.
Place an electricity box.
What is the building fixer mod? What is it trying to fix? Okay, that is 1, 2, 3. One I already placed, 2 more. And welcome in Riri. Nice to see you here. And I'm trying. We're giving a shot at building a favela. How good at that we're doing, I'm not sure. But it's slowly starting to take shape. We can actually start placing electricity boxes in our favela as well, because by now we're somewhat finished. I mean, I should never say finished, because you guys probably have to suffer through me watching, or through watching me build this for another month. But the layout of it is at least mostly finished. I'm glad to hear wholeheartedly. This seems to be my most popular build I ever done so far, which is funny because it's probably the most unfitting build to my American Los Vagos desert shithole. But then who knows, with the current US administration, I guess this is only a question of time. I tried, like the amount of love I put into this is pretty crazy. It's hard to see, but you can see that there's a lot of these like small staircases that lead up everywhere and connect to plazas and such things, and you have these like small, all of these still needs to be detailed out. And welcome in, Dava. Nice to see you, cutie. But yes, this is all not properly detailed yet, right? Like we're still mainly in our figuring out phase of this. But I'm very proud how well we managed to fit in those small staircases and all of these like small alleys in between. Because yes, you can basically walk through this entire favela, and you can go up here, and you get to the soccer court here, and you can pretty much keep doing this as we have like staircases and connection pretty much not everywhere, but most of the favelas. Some of them are so tight that it's a bit difficult to get through. But yes, I spend a lot of love and effort to actually make most of the doors accessible and get some proper routing through these places. And by now, I think we're progressing slowly. Oh, also Dava, now you're here. Actually, I have to show this to you. It's not detailed yet, I know, but I started a neighborhood for absolute train lovers here because these train lovers have the perfect view over our rail depot down here. And Maestro chose this one, and you have a nice neighbor, as this is your neighbor. So both of you train lovers together now have a nice view on this.
I
I
wish we
actually
had
think
a
this area is
cactus.
starting to kinda look proper. And thank you, Polly. That's Dava emotes are always welcome in my chat. That's beautiful. And welcome in Mini as well. But yes, there still is a lot of love and effort to be put in here, but I think it's slowly taking shape. This entire side of the build, at least. And then this entire side of the build is unfinished, horrible garbage that should not be looked at yet. I have a question for you, Dava. Because you know everything about trains, I try to do something here. Again, I'm probably this entire city is gonna look very different than it does here. But what I actually try to do, which obviously makes no sense for a city of this size, but I try to sneak a tram in here because I very much love this beautiful tram of Maestro and I would like to use it. I despise these pillars. I absolutely despise these pillars. I hate the way the cables are running. All of this led me to a point where I don't want to use a tram for this anymore. Maybe I would like to use a tram for an area that is bigger, because I think in bigger streets the pillars don't look as horrible. But especially for a small street like this is unacceptable. Like it literally is so ugly that I'm not willing to have this in my city. Is there no way around this? Not really, right? Because what I tried is just deleting them, and you can do that, but that doesn't change anything about the cable. So that's not really a solution. I think the solution is just only using trams that don't need electrical wires, which is very cute or very sad because I know that Maestro put a lot of effort into getting the pantograph here to be as cute as it is. And I do think this does look beautiful, but the pillars and everything around are so horrible. I cannot live with it. I just cannot live with this. And I asked TDW, and he said he's gonna look into it if maybe he can add unelectrified tram rail into Road Builder. And then maybe we can build some kind of street car in this city instead. But yeah, I don't know. These are just so painfully ugly. See, the problem is, or not even the problem, Maestro, I would make a new Trump pillar, a pretty one, like this. I can do that after stream in an hour. But the pillar is only half my issue. Yes, obviously this would look a little better with a nicer pillar. But the cables and the pillar placement is just as horrible, right? Like this, for example, that every time you have an intersection like this, you get pillars on both sides of them. Which, sure, if this is a 4 lane or 6 lane road, that's not a problem because then they're here and here. But if it's in a small city with roads of this side, it just looks horrible. And I have no influence on this. So even with beautiful tram pillars, this would still look horrible. So I don't feel like this is fixable, sadly. I wish it would be, but I don't think it is. And so many people with a stream streak lately, which again, in my chat, I always think is a bit more impressive than in other people's chat because I don't have a schedule. I'm stream whenever I find a time or I manage to. So much appreciated. But yes, Maestro, this is very sad news, I guess, because I really would have loved to use your tram in that city.
I
I
wish
don't
we
think
had
I
a
can.
cactus.
And we don't need to wish anymore. In fact, I already prepared another sound instead of I wish we had a cactus. I need to change that. I had quite little time lately and
I
I'm
wish we
not
had a
great,
cactus.
not great with Twitch stuff. But I downloaded a
I
very
wish we
funny
had a cactus.
cactus sound from a French speaking person saying cactus. And as Gaga is French, and it's exactly how I imagine he sounds when he's saying cactus, we will have to replace the I wish we had a cactus sound with cactus.
Place an electricity box.
I had a feeling that this is gonna happen, Mini. You remember when roughly a minute ago I said I'm glad you're here and thanks for tuning in and spending time with us? I take that back. I hope you have a horrible day. I hope tonight your pillow is gonna be too hot for your ear. I I don't know. Loads of evil for you. And I'm not gonna take any blame for it. I don't think it's me being an evil person. I think it's just me responding to the cyberbullying I'm receiving over here. We have electricity boxes everywhere. Like this redeem is starting to become problematic just because I cannot find any everywhere any spots anymore. God damn it. Actually, maybe in our botanic garden we have them there. We have some there everywhere. They're literally everywhere. Here, this is a. Do we have any clothes? Are there? Okay, never mind. Not a perfect place. Hold on. This is a perfect place. What does a campground need for its RVs? A campground definitely needs electricity for its RVs so they can charge up. So we're gonna go ahead and add some electricity boxes. Honestly, this is such a
Great success.
yeah, very much great success. And Mini, you just given me a great idea. I already have a positioning for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 electricity boxes because I'm gonna give each of these one electricity box they can connect to.
Place an
That
electricity
is pretty
box.
realistic. Okay, four future electricity boxes are already secured because of course advantage taken right away.
Place an electricity box.
Okay, I should have not said this.
Place
That
an
is
electricity box.
3, 4. Oh, that was a hydrate. It's 3, 3. Okay, 3. And I will hydrate in a moment. In fact, there is an ad break coming.
Place an electricity
So
box.
very soon I will send you guys on an UFO ride and run to the toilet and drink something real quick.
Place an electricity
I
box.
despise all of you guys. Is that more than 5? If that's more than 5, I'm gonna start crying. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 exactly. Okay, you guys are fine. I cannot. I. Not only do I cry myself to sleep all the time, now you guys also make me cry on stream all the time. But for once,
Place
you
an
guys have been
electricity box.
see, of course, Gaga could not let this slide, me having a good time for once. Remember your electricity box, Gaga. The ad break is about to start. I will come back from the ad break and will place your electricity box, but so we are not too late for the ad break, I am gonna send you guys on a cute UFO ride. Did I miss it? Well, then I'm very sorry. I have not had a break this stream yet. I missed that ad break. I actually meant to send you guys on a ride while the ad break, but I'm gonna have to take a quick ad break anyways, or not ad break, but just a break, and run to the toilet and grab something to drink. Sorry for me, or sorry for me fumbling the timing on that. I try to always take my breaks during an ad break, but I messed that up today. So I hope you guys still enjoy your UFO ride, and I will be back with you guys in
damage.
3 minutes. So see you guys soon, and then I'm gonna place your electricity box. And sorry for the fumble. See you soon. Bye bye.
That's cute.
That's what she said.
I'm welcome back. And of course, I see surely pockets had nothing to do with my chat rioting while
I
being
cannot see.
away.
I'm legally blind.
And welcome in Ren. I'm gonna take a moment while we're still in the UFO, because you guys get something nice to see, and make sure I drink something as pockets redeemed a hydrate. Which honestly always appreciate. I'm yapping so much
Oh, that's
while
cute.
streaming that I never mind a hydrate redeem. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I try. I've not been the greatest at getting to stream regularly lately, but I'm trying, and I think for once we're working on something actual nice. Not sure if you've seen it already. Oh, Triton redeemed the hydrate. Okay, okay. Then thank you, Triton. But yes, we've been working on this favela since a while now. We're starting to slowly detail a bit, but mainly it's still missing all the detail. So today I've been pretty back and forth and just randomly throwing down stuff in here. Like, for example, this electricity box that we owe to Gaga still. I mean, to be fair, I always have to give credit where credit is due. I don't think I'm doing such an amazing job at this favela. It's just that the assets of this gentleman who
Place an
made this pack,
electricity box.
Mr. PDO23, 10 out of 10. They are absolutely amazing, super, super beautiful. Everybody, everybody should be using those if you can somehow integrate them into your build. I probably have gotten a bit overboard with this, but yeah, the pack is amazing. And then if anybody ever wants to build this, you will need one mod that you should have anyways. Way underappreciated. It's ABC. This one, Advanced Building Control, and it allows multiple things. One of the things, it allows you to turn any building into a ploppable. And then it has some other nice features, like for example, turning off terraforming for specific buildings. But alone turning everything into a ploppable is an absolute game changer. And welcome in Baganari. Obviously, you bully me right away. I'm not surprised. It's been okay today. It's been about 15 electricity boxes, maybe so far. Could have been worse, could have been better. I despise all of you. But hope you have a nice day and welcome in. Where do we put this? Oh, actually, even our favela is starting to have electricity boxes everywhere. I cannot catch a break. There we go. This is a perfect place for electricity boxes. Ren, you saying this? Yes and no. The truth is you don't want to know how much I have terraformed here. Yes, I absolutely did follow the terrain, but as I built so many staircases and weird things like this in here, if I would go ahead and delete all of the buildings, the mountain below this would look absolutely horrible. So I take that compliment. That's very cute of you, and I'm glad you feel like it. I'm gonna have to say you're only partly right, because no, you're kind of right. Because yes, I did perfectly follow the mountain that was here, right? Like this looks like it perfectly fits into the mountain, but under the favela now, the mountain is not looking very proper anymore. I wish you saying this, Baganariu, All right, Triton, enjoy your dinner and maybe see you later. I'm not sure how long I'll stream today, so if not, have a nice night and enjoy watching Vitality tomorrow. But yes, enjoy your dinner. And what I was gonna say, Baganari, one of the things that really, I shouldn't say infuriate. Infuriate is a bit too harsh for what I mean to say. But one of the things I don't understand in the marketing of PDX is why they're not using in-game screenshots. Like, for example, if you open your game, the loading screen in the background, why is that a horrible, shitty AI image and not somebody's build, right? Like, they could even make this a competition and they could be, I don't know, they could literally be cheap with this and say you get one free DLC or something. Because people would love to have their screenshot in the main menu. Yes, but Hall of Fame, for example, only kicks in after your game load up, right? Was it CGI? Okay, then horrible looking CGI. I never think that AI is the problem. I think the look of AI is the problem. So in my book, no difference between a bad AI and a bad CGI image. None of it makes sense. Cause why would they? Why would they not just take a screenshot of Canadian Moose build or I don't know, maybe Gaga's build, or there are so many amazing builders, like any Picana screenshot ever, all of that would look so much better than the, I guess, Maestro corrected me here. Also, we have a hole, what the heck? But all of that is better than the CGI image we have right now. And I don't understand, because that would be such an easy change to make, but I think people would love it. I think, for example, if they would change once every month, which screenshot is in the main menu of the game while you load it up, that would be super popular. So I really hope they make more use of the amazing community in that regard in future. And welcome in, Krieger. Nice to see you. Yes, and especially since they have the material, right? Like just go on City Skylines Reddit for 5 minutes and you will find about 30 screenshots that are prettier than our current splash screen. So I have never understood why we have that horrible splash screen instead of any pretty screenshot of the game. Especially if it's user generated, right? I also, yes, I know that's a lot of effort, but I do think they're throwing away a bit their community building. Because if we'd have an in-game gallery or browser or a screenshot uploader, a bit like Hall of Fame, that would bring people together, that would showcase how amazing the build or the game is, that would let newer people see what you can do, right? Because clearly we can all agree that the game does have some small issues, or also maybe not small issues, but a bit bigger issues. But regardless, this game is beautiful, right? And I think some people just need to understand how much possibility they have to make something different. And what could be easier than just showing them while they load up their game, right? And I know something like following other creators and an in-game showcase and all of that would obviously be a bit more time intense. But even if they would just make a competition where they ask people to send in screenshots and then they take the best 5 of them, that would be perfectly fine as well. Yes, it's so bad. I think it every single time. Like that's what I mean. Like any screenshot from City Skylines Reddit is gonna be an better advertising for City Skylines than the actual splash screen. So I really I don't understand why they make no use of that amazing material they have available at their fingertips anyways. And let me catch up on chat real quick and a longer message. Um, See, honestly, I think that actually makes a bit of sense then. I have never played City Builders prior to Cities 2, so I'm very new to the genre. But yes, if there is a level on nostalgia in the splash screen, as it reminds people of SimCity, I understand their choice a bit more. I still would prefer them to use actual builds and screenshots, but I think that at least gives a little more reason for it. I mean, and they are doing that, right? Like with all complaints about the game, I think complaining is perfectly fine and good, and we should all do that as it's gonna make the game better in future as long as it's friendly and constructive and not just vomiting your thoughts out there. 10 out of 10, everybody should. But I also think credits where credit is due. Ice Flakes has been doing a very good job so far. At least in my opinion. Obviously, everybody invited to see this however they want to, but I think since Ice Flakes took over, the game is rapidly developing in a very right direction. Is that gonna keep taking a long time for them to actually fix everything and bring the game in a proper well-rounded state? Absolutely. So sadly we're gonna have to be a bit patient with all of this. But I do think they have proven by now that they are competent enough to get us there eventually. God damn it, speaking English is hard sometimes. Yeah, I knew it's not good to look at this from ground level, because this I don't like. We're gonna go ahead and delete all of these, because I don't like the way that looks. And we're gonna try fix that up a bit different. First thing first, we wanna see till where this goes. And it goes till right here. That's perfect, because that means we can take another staircase. This, Gray, are you here, Gray Noise? I want you to see something. And I hope you're proud of me. If Gray Noise now is not proud of me, I don't know what to say. I learned keyboards for Move It. Only two of them, but I know two keybinds for Move It now. I'm gonna press Control H and click this. Have you seen this? It only took me 1.5 years. I think we can all agree that I'm a pretty fast learner. If I only took 1.5 years to learn two keybinds, I think I am reasonably proud of myself, and so should you guys. You cannot. The second one is Control G, and it's also a line, but it's a line to terrain. They're really easy. They're right next to each other. I don't know why it took me so long to finally dive into it, but Yes, I now know what is Alt aim. Yeah, see? I said I learned 2 keybinds. I only know 2 keybinds. I was not kidding. So, I need you actual competent gamers to teach me what is Alt aim. Is it for manipulation mode? If so, then yeah, I should also learn that. I'm gonna press Alt A and we'll find out together, I guess. It's not Alt F4, so I guess I'm not gonna close my game on accident. Yeah, I can see already. You guys not gonna tell me what it is. See, again, I'm using the keybind, but is this not beautiful? And now you can see, Ren, why I earlier said that the mountain below all of this is gonna look a bit weird. Because here we have the next case of it, right? Obviously, we don't want this terrain here. So what I've done in numerous places is to go in, take a terrain from a bit below, and then do this, which obviously would mean that the mountain is probably looking fairly silly now, but nobody can see the mountain. We don't even need this one. Okay, never mind. Then there we go. Okay, I'm gonna try Alt A now. I guess I need to be in Move It, obviously. I'm pressing Alt A, nothing is happening. Maybe I unbound it? What is Alt A doing? I'm pressing Alt A, it's not doing anything. I might have unbound it. Because whenever I started the game, okay, I'm selecting something first. With Move It, I assume. I cannot read Gaga. Which align tool? You guys are... So this. Are we talking about Move It only or about others? Okay, Alt A while we have something selected. We have this selected. I'm pressing Alt A. And then I get this white circle that... Okay, okay. I'm a slow learner. Be patient with me. Thank you. Now I understand. That indeed is very helpful. And one of the few things I regularly use, so appreciate it. And let me catch up real quick on chat in case I miss something. Yeah, Baganari, one of the things where I think Ice Flakes is really good so far is that they are aware of many of the problems, right? Like they obviously cannot fix anything at the same time, but they don't seem very defensive about the game, which honestly I think the setup is a pretty good one because they have not built this game originally, which puts them in a place where they can very freely call things bad if they are bad. I imagine that's a lot more difficult if you sit in an office with your coworker who have worked on that exact thing, and then you go out into the public and say, "Hey, that's horrible, and we hate the way this is done." So that dynamic of them not having built a foundation but now having taken over, actually gives them a lot of freedom in voicing their opinion, I would say. I don't think we fully know. Maybe you know more than me as well. I checked out some of your videos, Krieger, and you seem to be very into the history of city builder games and such. Keep in mind, I have never played a city builder till 1.5 years ago when I bought Cities Skylines 2. Well, I'm actually I'm giving false info here. I played Cities Skylines 1 when it came out originally. I have 30 hours. I did not like that game. I uninstalled it fairly quick, and then years later, I wanted to revisit CS1, and I saw there was like, I don't know, 20 DLCs, and I would have to spend more money on CS1 than just buying a new game. And then I decided that's not for me. And then when CS2 came out, I dived into. But I don't really know much about the history of CS1 outside of what I've been told by people. And appreciate it. That's nice, but I do think from the little I know, and gladly correct me if you know better than me, that Colossal Order is just developing a new game by themselves. And I also do think that at least a fair amount of the Colossal Order stuff has moved over to Iceflake. Some probably after they split, but I know that there's also been people while Colossal Order was still in charge of the game that moved over to Iceflakes. But I believe the rest of the Colossal Order people are working on a new city builder from the little they said. Yeah, I agree with you, but then I'm hesitant voicing my opinion on this too much as I know too little, right? Like without knowing more that happened behind the scenes. I don't wanna like say too much bad things about either one because I'm just not sure if any of that is correct. My feeling is also yes, it's been a management issue, but is that true? I absolutely don't know. Maybe it's a publisher issue. Maybe it's a I don't know competence issue, right? Maybe Cities 2 was also a bit too ambitious for what the team could. I just don't know any of it with certainty, so I like speculating, but I never really would wanna judge because I can't. Yeah, okay, no, that's perfectly fine. I think speculating is great. I speculate a lot about City Skylines. It's one of the reasons why I was very hesitant to getting into the early access program, cause I think it's a bit more difficult for me now to speculate, because obviously I know some things at least, but yeah, I can obviously still freely speculate as long as I don't give out any secrets, which I have no interest in, because I think that would just ruin your guys' amusement and excitement for future patches. I think leaks have never been a cool thing in any game I have ever played, because I think leaks just really ruin excitement and hype of the community. So I'm not a fan of any leaks. I mean, I agree, and I said many things in the past where probably most of them have been
I wish we
absolutely
had a
wrong.
cactus.
But yeah, you're obviously totally right. I can say my feelings and how I think stuff happened. I can only say, and I said this already earlier in my stream, that I'm glad that it now feels like whoever is in charge of the game realizes that there is players already playing the game. My main gripe with Colossal Orders was always that it felt like they don't acknowledge that people are already playing the game, and for that reason, some bugs should be fixed since yesterday already. Please let me target this. I hate this. Okay, we cannot even use EDT. Okay, then instead of moving that table in a better position, we're moving that tent in a better position for the table. That's fine as well. Yes, and I think it's very noticeable, right? Like even if you just look at YouTube comments and like Twitch viewers, and I don't mean my viewers in particular. Like I'm super niche. I don't think I'll ever have many viewers, but if you look at general viewers of the Cities 2 category, it has gotten a lot better, right? And not even the amount of viewers, but also the amount of streamers and people diving into the game and trying it out is definitely a lot bigger than it used to be. Yes, and for me the main thing of what you're saying, Gaga, is they're bug fixing, right? Like I have never had a problem with some fixes taking a lot of time. I have never been ununderstanding for some things to be incredibly tedious and time consuming. But I just want small, easy to fix problems to also be fixed in a fair time frame, right? So for example, when they messed up with the graphic settings, I don't think that was a problem at all. They admitted they fucked up and made a mistake, and it took, I don't even know, less than a week, if I recall correct, like a few days, and they had a patch out for it. Perfectly fine. Humans make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. I would go as far as saying I am a mistake, but then sadly I'm a wish kid. But I don't mind mistakes, never have. If you address them, you communicate clearly, and you go back on them and fix, that's 10 out of 10. But I don't think has Colossal Order ever put out a hot fix or a hot patch or a hot fix? I don't think they have, right? At least I don't recall that they have in the time where I was playing. But yes, very nice to hear, because I was always, as soon as this got announced, I was quite excited and always thought it's a good sign that PDX is like making Cities one of their core titles and getting it in-house. I think that's always been more of a commitment than anything else towards the title. So I had good feelings about this from the start, but I know that the initial community reaction about this was horrible. Like everybody pretended like the game is gonna die and we need to have a funeral. And it seems like the general perception has really shifted by now, and most people are pretty into what Ice Flakes is doing so far and seem to be a lot more hopeful about the future of the game. I'm very curious in I'm sure for people who have seen the Paradox stream earlier at least, that this patch is one of the most exciting patches we've ever gotten in the game. I hope they can manage to get this patch through smoothly, because I really wish that something that's as hyped and anticipated as this patch to go well for them. I would hope they get that win for themselves at least. What do you mean with some much needed features? Because that's a while after I started playing. And I have to admit, even when I started playing, I was always a bit baffled how negative the perception is. I obviously understand that for CS1 players, there was a lot more to miss, right? Because you had all of those things in the past, and I don't, so I didn't miss anything. But as soon as I started pumping out the region packs, I think the game mostly has been in an alright state. Yeah, sure, with loads of bugs under the hood and stuff not working properly yet, but the general foundation of it never felt bad to me. Yeah, a very fair point. I have to admit that I personally have never given a shit about bikes. While I love biking in my real life and I'm a big cyclist, I am building a typical US city, making fun of the silliness of the United States. So the one thing I don't want in my build under any circumstance is bicycles. I have been very attentive to deleting the bike rack of any asset that spawns with a bike rack. I don't want bikes in my city. What I want instead of bikes is big diesel trucks and other silly forms of transport, how you would find them in the US. Yeah, that's fair. I think I started the game exactly at the right moment, because that's like I started playing the game and then like 2 months after or something they released the first region pack. So for me it was basically I was still getting to know all of the base game content, and then I already had a first region pack. I also think they're like, from somebody who has I'm a graphic designer. I not have like I wouldn't consider myself a marketer, but I have spent some time in my past working in advertising agencies as well. Painfully so. I hate advertising. I'm not a fan of it, but then it's just part of my industry, right? But I think the marketing of what Colossal Order is doing is absolutely atrocious. I have to admit, I think even the marketing that we're currently seeing is still not doing the game a favor. I do think the honest truth is if you market yourself as a simulation title, your simulation needs to be better than what we have right now. So I have always and outspokenly always really disliked that they pretend that City Skylines is a good simulation title. I think it's fine if they communicate they want to turn it into a good simulation title, but it just isn't, right? And if you market something with a feature that is not really acing, then yeah, you will let people disappointed, right? Like I I don't think they need to say we're not a simulation game, because obviously Cities has some simulation and it's not horrible, but I think it's the weakest part of the game is its simulation. And the strongest part of it is a great city builder and city painter. But then if you look at the marketing of this game, it's like you're playing a deep simulation title where you need to learn how to fix your production lines, and all of that is nonsense. I plop down one big skyscraper, I can have 70% unemployment. None of that matters. Nothing in this game is a problem simulation, or like is difficult simulation wise in this game. So I personally try to not show the simulation of this game so much. I actually balance my city very delicately off stream. I have great education, I have great healthcare. My city is very well balanced. Do I think any of that deserves to be showed on stream? Absolutely not. It's the weakest part of the game. It's the part where still the most bugs, issues, and difficulties are in the game. So I really think they shouldn't market it big. See, I don't think, Krieger, to clarify, I don't think the simulation is missing loads to be in a good state. But there is so many bugs, right? Ice flakes themselves have been very transparent on calling out the simulation bugs, right? You literally have stuff teleporting around and all kind of weird things like that. Is the simulation, do we have a foundation for really good simulation in this game? Absolutely. I would say yes. If they really start looking into it and investing a lot of time into the simulation, then I do think many things they can turn very proper. But I think it's still unhonest to advertise this as a deep strategy title. And in many of the marketings, that's kind of what they're portraying themselves as. And I just don't think so. I think the simulation is the worst part of this game, and the more fun you want to have in City Skylines, the less you should interact with the simulation aspect of it. Yes, exactly what Gray is saying, right? Like, I understand why their marketing was the way it is, because that's the game they wanted to be, but reality just was different. And I don't, again, I think they can totally change that message once they fix everything. Uh, Once the simulation is working great and is more complex, and you actually need to have proper production chains and education, unemployment, or any of those things actually have some difficulty and like consequences in this game, then yeah, please advertise it as such. But I don't think any of that is given yet. What is given yet is the single most customizable city painter with a very solid foundation and a good simulation behind it to make that city painter feel alive and feel good. But I think you would have a lot more people being unhappy with the game if you would also advertise it as such. I know, but I do think many of those things are really deep. Like for example, Honu. I'm not sure if Honu is still here, but I tested quite a lot Honu's fast boarding mod and paid a lot of attention to public transport. This game literally has a ticket system where people buy tickets for specific buses and then not take the bus before it, if even if it has space, because their ticket is assigned to a bus afterwards. But now comes the kicker. But do I think all of that matters? Absolutely not. Do I think it's great that they try to have those systems and that there is a foundation of being very difficult and deep and but now comes the kicker. There is so much overbuilt stuff in the simulation that they then have never properly fixed to work smooth. So it's honestly is a difficult one for me because if all of that works great, yes, please complexity amazing. But before you add all of that level of complexity, please make sure those things work fine and then build on top of that, right? And that's nice. I'm happy. I think Luca is an absolutely amazing developer, and I have messaged him in the past and tried to invite him to my Discord, but I think, as with other people in the past, many people don't see messages of non-friends, and that he joined now, I'm very happy about it. I was always a bit confused how much that is perceived, because yes, I do see that there's a lot of people who are a bit overly toxic and disappointed with the game, but then I also actively avoid those channels, right? I don't really look at Cities Reddit, and I don't really look at CSM or any of those places. And I would say my own and small community has always been very harsh but positive. I don't know how to word it better because I think it's good to be outspoken and I think it's good to criticize, but you also have to give credit where credit is due, right? And do I think Cities is a flawless game? Absolutely not. There is loads of things they should fix and need to work on. Is City Skylines my favorite game? Sure, it is. Do I complain about it a lot? Absolutely. Will I stop doing so? Absolutely not. But I also will always try to make sure that people understand where that comes from. It comes from a place of love. I love this game. I enjoy it immensely. And I think my criticism comes from a right place at least. I think it has gotten more positive as well. Like even if you look at like those places I told you to generally avoid, I'm a Reddit user for non-city stuff, so I do see the Reddit posts in the cities community every once in a while, and some of them are still really unhappy. Funnily, a lot of those are also just incompetent, right? Like a lot of the unhappy posts in City Skylines are people who have done silly things to their game and now it doesn't work anymore, and then they curse out City Skylines. But there still is a lot of negativity, I think. But I think, Gray, here comes a kicker, because yes, I hate unconstructive criticism, right? Like obviously that is never okay. But I always think there is two sides to the story as well. And I do think it also is very apparent that Ice Flakes does hear your criticism, right? It is very obvious to see that they care about criticism. They want to make things better and learn about them. And I do think with Colossal Order that has been the case a lot less because there's been many really small issues that have been criticized for incredibly long time frames and never have been even acknowledged or reacted to it or anything alike, right? And I do think while that is still not acceptable to make people angry, I do think the reality is that makes people angry. Is that something I would say is not okay, and you should always be respectful and nice to people? Yes, absolutely. Do I think you could have done a better job on a side of Colossal Order to avoid that? Yes, also absolutely. Like I don't know. I think the truth, as with everything, is a bit of a middle ground. Yeah, I agree. I very much agree with what you said. But I do think one of the things you have to keep in mind really is also that we're not with the original developer of the game anymore, right? Because I do think one thing many people forget is that developers are just people, right? Nobody wants to make a shitty game. Nobody is not trying to make their player base as happy as they can in their circumstances. Sure, if it's a big company with shareholders and all of that, maybe things looks a bit different, but I think you need to always be very understanding in that regard. And I had a point following this, but I forgot about it, so give me a moment till I remember again. Damn it. Silly brain. But oh yeah, now I remember again. It's what I said earlier already. I do think alone that it's a different company, right? And that you're allowed to go out and say, yes, this is currently not great, but you're not the one that made that, is very freeing because I'm sure Colossal Order was unhappy with quite a lot of the things as well, right? But it's a lot more difficult to face your player base and be like, hey, this is absolutely silly and made horribly and none of it makes sense. And then the community will be like, but yeah, you're the developer, right? Like you have made this horrible. It's your work and your choices why this is not working well. Meanwhile, Ice Flakes can absolutely say that, and they're not a target, right? Because they're not in or have not been involved in the past. And I think that really changes, right? Because as somebody who's worked with very competent and amazing co-workers in the past, but also with some not very competent and amazing co-workers in the past, if you have a very nice person next to you that is nice, you're going to be a lot more careful to shoot sharp, right? Sure, maybe your coworker is has not made the best product out of something, but then they're your friend and your kids go to school together, so obviously you will not go out in public and trash talk their work. But just them not having to do anything with that and now being able to just freely voice their opinion, I think changes a lot in that regard as well. That's still something I don't fully understand as well. Maybe that is has something to do with contracts and legal bindings as well. But I think it's pretty much public knowledge that they did have issues with features that they planned on from Unity and then that didn't make it into the game. And they had to really work around that and struggled with that. Why have they never announced this publicly? Why is it that only people who really care about this game and are invested are aware of that? But why has there never been a public comment on this? Because while I don't think Colossal Order has done everything right, I also do think some of the things were not their fault and they have done great work on a lot of the aspects. So I have never understood why they not made that publicly, but then again, maybe because they have a contract with Unity and they are a lot smaller company, so they were not in a position to be voicing that as harsh publicly. It's actually so finicky in this favela because so many of the walls are like this, with objects before or in places where you can't easily reach it. I want to have a shitload of graffiti in here, but it's not that easy. Obviously, we will go through here with tags and smaller stuff as well. I also actually want to have some bigger, proper graffiti pieces. And holy shit, Sunny, that's a long watch streak in general, but then especially for somebody who's not streaming on a schedule. Appreciate it, cutie. Oh, and there is an ad break coming now. I just seen that a moment ago. I will answer to you in peace after I'm back, but I will take a quick toilet break and send you guys on an UFO ride in the ad break. I will be. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. I will be back in 3 to 5 minutes and answer your question and respond. But I'm gonna run to the toilet real quick. That's not the right button. This is the right button. I'm already losing ad break time. There we go. We got it. I will be back with you cuties shortly. Enjoy the UFO ride and see you guys soon. I'm back, cuties. And I guess Gaga is a wall right now, but I think some of it, though I do think he missed the live stream today. So I don't think he's seen as much as other people. But very much indeed, that's the most exciting patch since I'm playing the game, I guess. Well, no, we had a discussion earlier. I guess introducing the editor and modding were the two most important one. Depends which ones, but yes, I have a few unreleased decals since multiple months now, I have to admit. I've I've been using these for a long time, so I kind of forgot that they're unreleased. But yes, you mean this? I love this pack. You mean the monsters? These are not released. These are, I guess, for now, Los Vagos exclusive. So yeah, these are indeed, and then these are also all unreleased. These are some very. I really wanted those for myself, and then the editor came, and these are still made with EIA and not in the vanilla pipeline, and I could just release them for EIA, but then I don't really want to release for EIA anymore. Now we have the vanilla pipeline, and then I just never release them and just use them myself. But it's like very big, generic, colorful decals like this that you can just slam on walls that need a bit pop, but they're not like my other stuff where they have so much pull to them, like where it's a proper main motive for anything, but they are a lot more subtle. I mean, I can send them to you if you want to have them. They're both a build mod already, so uh, they are really easy for me to share. I just never. I know that I should transfer them into proper vanilla decals and then release them, but then I always have so little time that I never really got into that. But yes, those two packs are both unreleased, I guess. Shame on me. I know I will accept all kind of shame. And if you're still here, Krieger, because you asked if my city is functional, I would need you to clarify if you mean the favela or if you mean my city, because the answers to both of those would be fairly different. Most of it. I shouldn't say most of it. Everything that's accessible in the street, yes, all of this is functional, like the entire bottom part. Some of the ones in the second row, this is functional. Some of these are functional. I'm tricking with blocks, right? I'm gonna press this. Is a bit cheaty. I make functional what I can make functional, but then obviously I cannot. Something like these houses up here, I cannot make this functional. I could if I would build a very different type of favela where I would be willing to have road access and cars up here. I am not willing to do that, so all of this up here is just decoration, pretty much. Everywhere where I can, I pass to, and yes, all of these houses here work, all of these houses here in the street, all of this is functional. And I could expand on it a little as well and get in a bit more. By now, I actually think I have a pretty good population number. Before I show my population number, I'd be interested if we look at this. Obviously, in City Skylines and not in the real world, but what population number would you guys say is appropriate for this? And welcome in, Michael. Nice to see you, Mr. Legend. Michael is my most legendary viewer, as he is the first viewer I ever had on Twitch. And I was too embarrassed to tell anybody about my stream that I know, so I just streamed to myself a little, and then Michael came in, and for some reason watched me. I'm the honored one, as Michael watched me play Ballords for 3.5 hours or something. Yeah, see, you is Michael, it's even funnier, because Michael, when he was started watching me, was always there in the start, even when I had like 2 viewers every stream or something. And Michael got a kid and bought a new house. So then he was a wall for, I would say, how long am I streaming now, Michael? Like a bit over a year? 1.5 years? Something like that. But yeah, Michael was very busy with family and life and his house and everything. Understandably, that should be more important than watching some idiot in the internet play video games. So no shame, all understandable. But it seems like Michael has more time again, so he is back. And it's funny because I used to talk about Michael, and then eventually he just came back in one stream where I was talking about him. And you guys have nobody has answered my question, which is fair, but I'm actually interested. What would be a fitting population number for this? Because I think I'm pretty much where I want this to be. But I'm also an indecisive person, so I'm curious what you guys would. Okay, I guess I'm slightly below 6 million people. Very slightly. I have close to 2,500 people in here, which is not 6 million, but close to it, I would argue. There is so many people. I would actually be interested in that. If I would give a number behind this, I would guess probably half of my viewers are parents. So you fit right in. You are definitely not an outlier in this community. And I mean, even the people who don't have kids kinda have a kid, because I am mentally 3 years old, so I can be the kid otherwise. And yeah, congrats to both of you. I'm not gonna say I am jealous, but I'm absolutely jealous, especially in northern Germany, living in Hamburg. I will probably never be in a position to buy a house. That shit is so insanely expensive here, and I'm not earning money that will get me anywhere close to buying a house. Maybe if I'm willing to move somewhere else, but in Hamburg, that is not gonna be a thing happening. Yeah, and who have you slept with that you can afford your house, huh? Because yeah, I was gonna say in the Netherlands it should be similar, though it also really depends if countryside or city, right? Because if we talk about German countryside, then prices look very different suddenly. But yeah, in cities, it's quite literally undoable. Can we get some? Actually, we should even take the one with water. Can we fit some nice pools on the roofs where people can have a nice swim if they want. And now you have to dox yourself. Obviously, not exactly dox yourself, but do you live in the countryside or in a more urban environment, Michael? I want a yellow one, but with a ball. Nice, this is perfect. Is as much as everywhere else, Sunny. It makes no sense, but in my city, you can buy any signature building for the same price as a tent under a bridge. The normal claim redeem is gonna get you whatever you want anywhere in the map if it's not taken. Oh, well, okay. I figured from your name that most likely you're probably German. Also, after listening to your video, I figured that that accent sounds pretty German, but I wasn't certain on it. But yes, it makes a gigantic difference, right? Like you can probably if I don't know how nice your house is, but probably take your house and add 1 million to it if you want to have it in Hamburg in any more central area. Because house prices here are absolutely goddamn bonkers. But yes, even on the countryside, buying a house is not easy at all. So congratulations to the both of you. And then Hamburg is just Hamburg. My miss is living in London currently. Hope we can move together sometime soon. But yeah, in London, obviously, that shit is even crazier. In London, you can probably get a studio apartment for the house of a nice single family home in Germany. Which I always knew. What I never knew is that actually was a bit surprising to me, is that the salaries in London don't seem appropriate to that at all. At least, for example, looking at something like the US, yes, New York is also incredibly expensive. But then if you live in New York, your salary is generally adjusted to the cost of the city, right? And you generally earn pretty good money to live in that absurdly expensive city. But London has pretty much the same salaries as we do in northern Germany. Beside that, London is like 5 times more expensive. So yeah, it's a bit crazy to me, not gonna lie. Yeah, I would say so, but nowhere near to the same regard. Like maybe it's also just the people who I know in New York, but I had family members and friends work in New York for a little, and when I say salary adjusted, that like I don't know, easily twice or 3 times as much as what you would earn similarly here. And again, in London, yes, I'm sure London also has that for some jobs, right? Like I know finance in London, for example, pays really well, but then for the average person, I don't think it's anywhere close to that. But yes, of course, you're right that Munich and Hamburg in Germany are a bit like that, but then I would say here the margins between them are fairly small. And in the US, you make, I don't know, 3 to 4 times as much if you live in New York over somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Which also does absolutely make sense, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, as living in London is gonna be like 5 times as expensive as well. Yeah, that makes sense. My parents have a cute house, and they have, or my dad specifically has built a lot of stuff himself as well. Because indeed, you can get away a lot cheaper with it that way. And I do see more and more small issues. We actually have two holes somewhere. All of these are proper inner yard, so they are fine, but we actually had a here. Why is this here? This is unacceptable. I think with this, maybe we're gonna cheat because I kinda like, and we have a door there, and we have a door there. I mean, we don't really have a connection to it, so it makes no sense. Yeah, no, we're gonna cheat in this. Something I've done in very few places, but I think here it's appropriate. We're gonna take a building and just slide it in there to only use the roof of it to cover up that hole. Don't tell anybody what we just did here. This is something I barely did anywhere, so don't think I've been cheating in my favela. In some places, I have been cheating. In most of them, I haven't. Yeah, I knew it. See, Michael, this is why I miss you so much, because my chat lets me get away with stuff like this, and then there is Michael, who, as soon as I don't detail to 100%, I will get screamed at in chat, and I appreciate it. It's deserved, and I understand. Mean it's because you guys know speaking up to a dictator like myself is gonna have consequences. But Michael also knows I like him too much to let him feel consequences, so he feels free to just come at me whenever he wants. But all of this is gonna have an ending soon, because if you guys think I'm a horrible dictator, wait till you meet Miss Cheeks. Miss Cheeks has already purchased this, which is gonna be our future high security prison. Obviously, not this thing, but I'm modeling an actual nice prison in Brenda that maybe one day I will finish till it has to wait. But eventually, we will have a high security prison up here. And at that point, Michael, maybe you have to be more careful with your criticism. Maybe you will go to jail otherwise, or fall off the window, or out the window, or have a car accident. I don't know, but criticism is kinda dangerous in Los Vagos. I don't think the prison build is going to be super interesting because I think the majority of my prison build is probably going to happen inside of Blender. So it might happen, to be honest. But I'm not too worried because as much as my My miss is a cute supportive partner and does watch me sometimes. She also absolutely does not give a fuck about city building or city skylines. So I'm not too scared that one will take over. And of course, Russian methods. This is a true tropical build. We are definitely gonna take care of people. And here I see more and more small issues. I understand why this issue is here, because I needed to turn this. How can we fix this? First thing first, we're gonna take this. How far forward can we go without creating holes? Pretty far, I like that. I think we can fix this without replacing anything. But what I don't like is this poking through there. Here we can't really... Yeah, actually I'm gonna move this back and we're gonna cheat again. Michael, close your eyes, please. I don't want you to see anything that is happening here. Hello, miss? How did you get here? And why is this how you're going to work? Miss Diaz? Can we explain ourselves? How in God's earth did you even get here? Well, Michael, that's what you get. You've been slacking on spending enough time here. I now turned into a cheater channel, and you will not be able to change it anymore. Maybe soon we're gonna disable or download all of these mods to fix desk error and all of those things for us. Obviously, I would not do that. I don't like these kind of mods. And yeah, I know the block is there, and I know that's why the miss got in there, but still. This, and then yeah, obviously we need to go below this. We can cover without poking through there. That's fine enough, I think. Is this fine enough? I might go back and probably off stream fix some of these because these are really hold on. The zoning, I have some defense, Michael. I'm gonna agree with you, and while some cheating is acceptable, zoning is sin, but something changed about the blocks. Look at this. If I take a block, I place a block, put it down, it adds a zone. I think that's a good enough defense because I have not zoned anything. Whatever clip Gaga took the last time when I played this game has clearly been fabricated with AI. I have never zoned otherwise, obviously. But yes, the blocks now put down zones, so it's a bit more complicated. Also, I'm very curious if people notice this. They changed the way cars turn lanes, right? And on highways and everything, it now looks a lot smoother and better. But in all of my bus stops, it's now looking a lot worse. This bus stop used to look somewhat fine. Have you guys seen how they turn in and out now? And it's the same for all of my it's so yeah, look at this. This did not used to be the case. Obviously, we can change this if we use manipulation mode and go in and fix all of that up, but it's actually slightly annoying because that's something we have in many places, because I try to more and more actually at these small bus stops at the side of the road where they can actually drive onto something. God damn, there's a lot of people waiting here. But they all look kind of silly now because the buses go in really harshly and they go out really harshly. Yeah, look at this. Oh my. Don't look at this. Oh, what in... You guys see nothing, I hope. Why is this so bad now? This used to work perfectly fine till the lane changes. I guess cause now they try to get in as soon as they can after the node, because they know the distance is short. They go in a lot harsher. But this used to not be an issue much. But I'm afraid that's a big issue now. Also, why are all of these people waiting? We just seen a bus come. Why are all of you people here? And why are all of you people wearing winter jackets in the middle of Los Vagos? And why is half of you guys flying in midair? The more we pay attention to this, the worse it gets. I will have to try to fix this off stream, but I don't know. I'm actually wondering if this is something other people have noticed as well. Sorry, this is something we have to do in Los Vagos. Every time we see a bike driver, we're gonna check right of where can you bike. We don't want bicycles in our city. Okay, there should be a bike rack. Yes, what is this doing here? We are in the US, sir. No biking, please. Okay, sorry, I always do that. Whenever I see somebody riding a bicycle, I immediately check where they're going and yeet out the bicycle rack so they can't bike anymore in future. Bikers not welcome in our city. But yeah, the bus thing does annoy me, to be honest. Which street? This? Or the one we just went down? I think you were still here when we built this. You mean this, right? I think this has been still built while you were regularly watching? Maybe I'm wrong? I'm surprised how well all of this has aged. My biggest fear when the editor came out was that suddenly a lot of our build will look not appropriate anymore. And I don't have that at all. Yes, we're using a bit worse vegetation here, we're using only vanilla buildings and such. But regardless, I think all of what we built here still works pretty good. I do, but vehicle controller has been broken for, I don't know, few months now. Konzi is aware and is trying to fix it, but there is some issue leading to crashes on prefab changes with vehicles, so he cannot currently fix it. I'm still using it, but effectively it's not doing anything currently. Sadly. Otherwise, I would yeet out all of those small, I hate the smart. This. This car, absolute arch nemesis. I want this out of my city. And it is on a 0%, but oh, actually, all of this reset. Why did it reset? But I do think it's still not gonna work. Let's see. Maybe I said nothing and they fix it. If they fix it, we're gonna put all of this where we want. We want a lot of pickups, we want a lot of SUVs, we want a lot of muscle cars, and we want no city car and maybe a little less hatchback. I believe at least there was a time where it didn't work. I don't want to say anything wrong, but I believe it's not currently working correctly. Yes, I don't, to be honest, I don't agree with Michael that the, the model is not why I hate this. The reason I hate this is that I want a redneck US city with big diesel trucks and people buying vehicles that are way too big for them. So that's my big reasoning on why I don't want it in my city. Is the same reasoning of why Krieger doesn't want big pickups in his German city, because obviously that also doesn't make sense. This actually tilts me, because some of these will be really difficult to fix. Like the buses all look really bad now. Like both that they're doing this, like phasing into each other. They used to also sometimes do that, but it feels like it's gotten worse. But I want to see how this bus leaves, because they all leave really shitty. And before the lane changes, they just roll forward here. They literally just went onto the line. Now he's gonna do some nonsense of going left here, really harsh, and then turning into that line. I think at least, because that's what he does at all of the stops. And we are not gonna talk about all of our doors being on the wrong side, please. I know, it's not optimal, but what can I do? These two buses are so cute. I want to use them. Yeah, what is this? I built this 1.5 weeks ago, prior, maybe a bit longer, like prior to the last patch where they changed the lane behavior. And it looked so good before. It looks so bad now. And thank you, Triton, and welcome back. I'm actually gonna use that moment. I'm not even gonna go into a BRB stream, but I'm gonna run to the kitchen really quick and fill up my glass again, because I'm out of water to hydrate. So give me like 30 seconds, and I will be back with you, cuties. Alright, I'm back already. And now I can drink something nicely. But yeah, I think this means we'll need to rework a lot of our bus connections because our stations all don't work properly anymore. Hey, don't. No need to waterboard me, Maestro. I appreciate if I get to drink something, but I am the dictator. I am the one waterboarding people, not the other way around, okay? Just so we don't have a misunderstanding here. I really want to recheck this because I want to see if that behavior is the same for all of our stations now. If so, that sucks. I mean, this station is so much longer. I want to see how it leaves though. That's acceptable, and this actually we can fix this even better. But yeah, that means we need to take all of our shorter stations and make them a lot smoother. But yeah, now if it's more in the middle, he should exit smoother as well. I think you might be the reason why Los Vagos is out of water, Maestro. Because you redeem hydrate so much that I had to drink all of the water. This used to be a green, beautiful, lush landscape, but then you came and redeemed hydrate all the time. And now this is what we're left with. Are you happy with what you've done, Maestro? Oh, also, Maestro, I always wanted to say this. I love the color of the lights on this. I absolutely love the shade of this old yellowishy, old school light. I don't know. Not something you'd see much nowadays, I guess. But especially in Los Vagos, that lightning color is horrible. Yeah, I also thought they were crashing for a moment and was about to say, oh my god, what is happening here? But yeah, luckily they didn't. Yeah, that makes sense why they're like that too. But I think that looks fabulous. Because I think one of the things I don't like so much about a lot of the lighting in cities is how nearly everything is cold. Like the light temperature is very industrial and cold for pretty much everything. Doesn't matter if street light or bus or anything. And I understand it's 2026, so most light is gonna be a bit colder, but not everything, and even LEDs and more modern lights than a traditional bulb, they are totally also able to produce warm, nice light nowadays, so not a fan of it. I'm glad how much you like this. To me, it's really, really interesting because I like this a lot. I don't think this is my best build. I still think my quarry and mine build is cooler than this. I also do think it's really cool, but I think I deserve less credit in this being so cool. And a lot of it is because the asset is so amazing. And obviously, I'm not the one who deserves credit for these amazing assets, as I'm not the one who made those. But appreciated nonetheless. The good news about you guys liking this is that you will have to suffer through me placing random things here for a few more weeks, probably. So I hope you still like this build afterwards. At that point, maybe you guys will be very tired of it. Yeah, but I do think Maestro, like, it's not perfectly the same as like proper light bulbs, but some of the more modern LEDs are pretty solid at hitting nice warm colors as well. Let's see if this works out, because they will lie down the opposite way. The roof is too angled. Okay, never mind. We're forgetting about laying down somebody here. That does absolutely not look good enough. Can leave the pillows there as if somebody would want to lie down there in future, but we're gonna angle these. Because thanks to the amazing gentleman, Triton Supreme, who's in chat right now, we can angle stuff. Without Triton, this would not be possible. And we would just have to look at it and notice that the angle is shit, but then we wouldn't be able to do something about it. So, as always, Triton, thank you so much for your work. Yeah, I think that was. I don't even know. Is that an English word as well? Halogen in German, sure, but then in English, I don't think. Is that an English word? I would say probably not. But yes, it was, and I agree, they were beautiful. Especially, I think you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, but the old ones that were so red. You know what I mean? When you turned it is an English word. Okay, I said nothing. With German language, I think it's like a 50-50. Some words you can take and just pronounce them English and they still work. With most, you probably just make them up. But yeah, no, what I meant to say is the street lights that I have very beautiful memories on are the very old ones that if they get turned on, they're deep blood red at the start. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And then once they're on a little, they slowly change their color and adjust to like being a proper yellow lightning color. But for the first, I don't even think that was that halogen as well. I think that was even older. Yes, exactly. Sunny knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's like that light has to warm up and get started, and I think it looks beautiful how they change their colors. Maybe we can even manage to sneak a barbecue on there. Kinda. They that is something I cannot confirm, but is very, very different in Germany. I don't think in Germany we ever really had concrete streetlights, like the pillars, or maybe Maestro is gonna correct me and call me out, or Krieger as well. But I don't think for like traffic lights, street lights, anything like that, that concrete has ever been a thing really here. Maybe in some more rural regions, but at least during my lifetime, that was not a thing in Hamburg. Yeah, exactly. Even the old ones were metal already. And you mean a fire in my favela? Because if so, I actually have a good response to that. If you mean in real life, then yeah, you're probably right. And fires are Probably pretty goddamn lethal in a favela like that. If you mean in our game, I literally placed a helicopter fire depot in this ugly untouched area here, just so they don't keep burning down. Because literally same same problem, in here. Because all of these are ploppables and building prefabs, but have no road access. If I don't have choppers for the ambulance, they will burn down in game, right? Because the firefighters from the road cannot reach any of this. So I actually had to place this because once I was playing and I seen quite a bit of my favela burn down, and then I was like, okay, I guess I need helicopters. Yes and no. It's something I still want to work on a bit. First thing first, as a sewer, I'm happy about other ideas, but what we have and what I'll also bring more into the favela is literally those middle of the street. I don't even know how to call this. It's not a ditch. I guess it's some kind of sewer. But looking at Google Maps, I've seen a lot of this in favelas where you literally have disgusting stuff run down the middle of the road. So this is one of our ways to deal with it. Then with this part here, which generally is pretty, is a bit of a little paradise in our favela. But some people don't think it should be a paradise, I guess, or are a bit careless, but there definitely is people who are putting kind of weird stuff in here as well. And then I guess the main place where all of the shit from the favela lands is in this little questionable pond, I guess. We've been talking about the proper vocabulary for this earlier, and I couldn't find the right word in English, but I guess pond works. So this, but no, sewer is one of the things where I don't really know how to properly implement it. I would love to have some more like kind of small concrete ditches through here, but the amount of tediousness in our terrain is not really doable, and it's mainly about spacing. I would need a lot more space in small areas like this if I would be able to bring a ditch through here. And I really want this to be cramped and full, so I think my solution is gonna be putting down more of the motor oil, I guess. Now I need harsh feedback. Does this look like motor oil to everybody? Or do some people think this is some kind of sewage? Alright, Krieger, thank you so much for tuning in and have a nice evening. And don't worry, you're not gonna miss much. I'm also gonna head off soon. Yeah, good night, mate. Sweet dreams, and see you soon, I hope. I guess I can see where you're coming from, Maestro. I don't like that association, to be honest. I want this to look like a ditch. That is a good impact. You think it's too. Yeah. The problem with in the middle of the road is obviously I cannot actually give some depth in the middle of the road, right? And to properly show that this is a ditch, obviously it would have to be a bit lower. But then I just technically can't do that. It's not something what the game allows us to do. I do think it looks good enough, even like this. But yeah, you make a good point. I need to after this stream. I'm actually probably gonna look at a bit more favela pictures because I said so earlier. But when I looked at favela pictures initially, I mainly cared about like the transitions around it, the general layout of style. But I didn't pay as much attention to like smaller details like that. And I will definitely have to give this a second look. But yeah, always call me out if you guys think this does not work. I'm not sure it works either. I think kinda. But yeah, I guess Sunny makes a good point that it doesn't really make sense. There is like as much back and forth and should more run kinda in the middle of the road. I mean, in general, with our too flat terrain here, it doesn't make super much sense. But as I always say, I don't think it's super relevant that it makes sense. I think it's mainly relevant that it looks like it makes sense. But we're trying to pretend more than actually building this properly. But yeah, now Myers Rule got me insecure. Maybe we need to retouch this. Or are these so shallow that we can't even put a chair? Kinda can. But yeah, I guess only really in the corners. I guess it's gonna be 2 chairs in the far corners then. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do this on every road. I would try to get this a bit more irregular, but this is like pretty much the single main connection to all of this, right? So I would imagine that this definitely is a place where it goes down. I'm gonna try around with that a bit more. And I'm also happy for any like good detailing or sewage ideas. But the truth is for proper concrete, like small sewage ditches, I just don't have space. I would have to put them where my staircases are, and I like my staircases. So I don't want to do that. One of the things where I also been wondering, and I'm curious about opinion, I'm not sure where they are listed, so we're just gonna search for them. Do people in a favela are there flags? I would imagine. Okay, please don't crash. But I would imagine some people have flags on their houses as well. Obviously not as high, so we're gonna lower this. But if we align this correctly, I imagine that flags actually would be a kinda cute detail. Something like this. In so many other places of the world, you always see flags of something. And I imagine with how soccer crazy Brazil is, that you would probably have flags in here. Well, not my neighbors anymore. I was about to say, nice to see you, cutie. Glad to know you're home safe. Actually, I could do that, but then the only proper flags we have right now are all of these Spanish. Oh, I guess not only Spanish, we also have an EU flag. But I'm not sure how fitting. Honestly, just to annoy. We're gonna put a EU flag here just to annoy Riza. Because Riza will be like, why? And I like it. Totally appreciate it. I'm trying. I'm trying to better myself. In fact, yes, I'm gonna already stop streaming as soon as the next ad break pops up. Cause indeed, I try to stream early today. And I've been streaming very early. Not very early, but early for my standards, I guess. But yes, sadly, all of these flags are pretty big as well, like especially the straight one. The flag itself is pretty sizable, so I don't think we can get away with this too much, but maybe a few of them, especially the one that's a bit angled, I think works pretty well. But yeah, actually, Linda, you remember that we've been recalling if my neighbors from across, if they moved out or not, because their flag disappeared. I have seen the new person that lives in that flat, and I can confirm now I don't have those neighbors anymore. They indeed moved out. And talking of the devil, I do see that there's an ad break starting in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And as I've been streaming fairly long today already, I don't want you guys to have to suffer through another ad break. So I'm gonna put you guys into a nice perspective of our favela here and jump on Twitch and see where I can raid out to. We need to hurry up a little because I don't want you guys to have to watch another ad. And we have exactly 2 minutes left, but Dava is streaming, so that is perfect. I'm gonna raid all of you cuties out to Dava. Oh, Data Knase is also streaming. Maybe I should raid Data Knase instead.
Bye. Have a great
What
time.
is happening? Hold on. Actually, I'm gonna wait then. I don't understand. Something is weird with the way it announces the ad breaks today. It keeps counting down, saying an ad break starts in, and then before it happens, we're in the ad break already. But yes, I'm sorry. I'm actually gonna then, never mind. We're gonna play a little more because we don't have to hurry. But I wholeheartedly don't understand what is happening, why this is happening. Yeah, but that's not usually a thing. Like usually I like pay attention to it and I'm looking at the thingy that shows up for me in my oh whoops. I guess we just put a chair under him, that's fine. But yeah, look at the thingy in my chat that shows me when an ad break is starting. And today, whenever I look at it, it's counting down, and then before it counts down, we're in the ad break already. Which I'm gonna blame Twitch and say this is a bug and not my own incompetence, but might also be me. But yeah, this is the second time today where that happened. And I don't think I missed them both times. So yeah, sorry for that. I was thinking I can send you guys out prior to the next ad break, but clearly that did not work out the way I thought it would. I don't know why. And can you, well, do you guys remember who we raided last, Dava or Data Knazo? I think I haven't raided Dava in quite long, otherwise I would prefer to raid Data Knazo just because he is new to streaming and needs to get more known. But I do think I raided Data Knazo quite a lot lately, and I didn't really get to raid Dava much lately. So I think today it's gonna be Dava. The next time you guys remind me of what happened today. The next time it's gonna be Data Gnase instead. But yes, sorry for the weird early ad break and that you guys had to go through that again. But now I'm gonna put you into a nice perspective and rate you cuties out to Dava. Oh well, okay. That alone is reason enough. I'm gonna send you guys over to Dava so he can show off the cute maestro train. Fair, fair. That is all you had to say. And as always, thank you so much for all of you cuties spending your time with me and for the generous gifting of subs and such earlier. And I hope you guys enjoy your time over at Davos and all of you guys appreciate the ICE that Maestro built. Maybe Dava can show it off for us as well. And with that, all of you cuties have an absolute wonderful good night and bye bye. Not yet, not yet. 2, 1, go. Now we done it. Bye bye, cuties. Thanks for tuning in. Have a nice night.